Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Scott Sandlin, Executive Vice President with Shaw's Residential Business. Scott, how you doing?
Great, Kemp. It's fall in North Georgia and southern Appalachian Mountains, and it's a beautiful time of year here. Hope it is where you are.
It is. It's good to talk to you. Well, I know we want to talk about this decision to shift the yarn and tufting operations from Santa Fe Springs, California to North Georgia. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, how's business right now?
You know, if you look nationwide, retail is soft. We haven't seen as good a bounce as we've seen post-back-to-school bounce that we normally see in retail. Builder and multifamily are still relatively strong, but showing some signs of interest rates starting to impact that a little bit as well on the single-family side. So not quite what we want it to be, but just makes us get after it a little harder and try to stay focused on our customers a little better.
Yes, the consumers just pulling back. They're seeing the cost of borrowing money and sitting where they are. And one of the challenges, we both know that the consumer's sitting on a lot of equity in their home. And it'd be nice if they're going to stick there for a while if they do some refurbishing. I guess they got a lot of that out of their system during COVID, didn't they?
Yeah, Kemp, they did. But I think the other thing that we want to challenge ourselves with in our industry is flooring is lagging other building products when the consumer does spend money. And that's a challenge on us all. We've got to figure out how to elevate this entire category to allow the consumer to really see the fantastic products we make and how it makes their home so much more special. You and I have talked about this a ton. Nothing more special than putting high quality flooring in your home and walking in and seeing it when you refurbish. And we just got to get the consumer thinking that way.
All right. So we announced last week that you're shifting your manufacturing operations in Santa Fe Springs, California, both yarn manufacturing and tufting. The Tuftex mill, you're transferring to North Georgia. And thinking back, I interviewed Andrea Greenleaf, the CEO of Royalty, when she shuttered her residential mill out in California. She said, it's just an expensive place to do business. If you're thinking about California government, if you're not in the wine business or if you're not a movie star, there's no breaks for you. I guess that's one of the big drivers, right?
Well, I don't drink wine. I started as the bunny rabbit in the Christmas play in second grade. I'm neither of those. Real seriously, and our associates in Santa Fe Springs, California, and Yuma, Arizona have been fabulous. This is nothing because of their lack of hard work or intentionality, and these are actually state-of-the-art facilities. I mean, we have put new equipment, and as we transition, Kemp, we're actually bringing a lot of that equipment back east. But as you look at the future strategy of AT, having everything close together is really important. Shipping components, as Outside Yarn exited the business somewhat rashly and our supplier exited, we all of a sudden had our assets all sitting in the southeast fueling those facilities. And it just makes more sense from a business perspective and folks staying focused on our customer to have those close together to be efficient and make the products they deserve in the Anderson Tuftex brand.
Yeah, so you make your own yarn, you make your own backing, all of that in the southeast, and then you ship all those components and just assemble it out there.
Well, we twist heat set out there, but again, we have the capacity to do that here. And unfortunately, it does not make business sense, and it doesn't put the customer at the middle of the Shaw way. So that's why we're shifting. I'll tell you, there is a great story in the middle of all the hard conversations with our associates. There are actually associates that will be moving back east at all levels in the organization, and that makes us proud because they're really important associates, and they take a lot of pride in their roles. So in the middle of all this, that's a really good story.
That's interesting. So some of the styling and designing people, they'll be moving back and being part of the team in Georgia?
Well, our style and design team has been here as retirements hit on our West Coast design team over the last 5 years. John Cruz leads our Anderson Tuftex style and design, and John is a fabulous young design leader in our industry who led a lot of design on the contract side of our business, and he and his team are committed to really expanding the AT visual and design leadership as it leans into this luxury market as we accelerate forward. So that design talent is intact through this whole transition.
So moving forward, you're going to put even more horsepower behind the AT brand now, right?
The future of the AT brand, and again, you and I have talked about this, the future of elevating and refining carpet, it's not about units because units are down. It's about elevating and refining carpet. And that's what we want to do with AT. We want to give our customers, we've got some really special AT customers that are so loyal And this brand is so important to them. We have talked to all of them and have told them our plans, and we've got other things coming beyond our operations that will accelerate the AT brand in the next 6-8 weeks.
Okay, so what's the timing on all this as far as shifting operations and then ramping up more on the brand side?
It's over the next 6 months, moving into the facilities. Like I said, we have state-of-the-art tufting technology. Some of the looks that you get in AT today, those machines are in California. We have ramped up production. And Kemp, I think a real important point in this is we've got our distribution centers. We have the largest carpet footprint in California in that Cypress area. That's where we inventory all this product. And the backbone of AT in Southern Cal and really throughout the West was service. That doesn't go away. We are stocking it full of AT products, the products that turn out there. And so that's really important in this whole move. So over the next 6 months, we'll be moving machines back and putting them into our facilities here and tying them into the components, as you mentioned earlier, are already in the Southeast.
All right, Scott, so I know you're part of Berkshire Hathaway, and I know you get some good insight on when we might see an uptick in the business. So what are they telling you, the economic advisor?
Well, Warren has not called me lately to get my advice, but I think if you listen and watch what our leaders say and really watch general economic trends, the first half of next year is probably going to be a little soft. I mean, there hasn't been a real positive to hit from that perspective. I do think it goes back to what you said. The refurbishment market is really sitting there for us as we go forward. So I don't see anything changing the trajectory in the first half of next year, but we're still bullish on flooring. We're still bullish on carpet. I think all of our responsibility in this industry is to get that share of wallet up, because the consumer is saying they'll spend it. When you look at other building products, we just got to make sure that it's ours in our industry. And I think that's the focus regardless of what economic conditions are.
Okay, Scott, it was good to catch up with you. You've been talking to Scott Sandlin, Executive Vice President with Shaw over Shaw's residential business. And you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.